Welcome to another exciting episode of Wrestling. What the hell are you doing?
Bro, why'd you startle me like that?
This is another episode of Wrestling Rundown, folks. And we are, what?
Well, I'm eating.
You're eating for some weird, I guess it's...
I'm Hispanic and we have a high metabolism. Well, some of us do.
You gotta keep eating all the time?
Yeah.
Alright. We're, 10 days away from WrestleMania?
10 days?
I think 10.
I swear to you, dude, it seems like just yesterday, Brock Lesnar ended the streak.
God,
it seems like yesterday.
It does feel like yesterday.
Daniel Bryan overcame all odds.
And, man, let's jump right into the I'm going to say the main feud just because it's the championship feud between Lesnar and Roman Reigns.
Okay.
And, I've been somewhat critical of...
Somewhat?
I'm going to wait for you to finish opening it first. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
That's cool. We got time.
You sure?
Yeah.
Might need some napkins. Might need to make a napkin run in a minute.
You might have to make a napkin run in a minute?
I might, yeah. I don't want to get your computer all dirty.
I'll send a text real quickly to see if we can get some napkins in here.
Oh, wow. Room service. Okay.
see how that goes. Probably going to get slapped for it, but we'll see how that goes.
As long as we don't get any food on your...
But, yeah, I've been critical of Roman Reigns and Lesnar's feud a little bit, just because I'm not feeling the same build that most championship matches get.
Well, let me bring you a scenario. The world heavyweight title is the main thing, right? Is what everybody's looking at, right?
Yeah.
Now, and you're saying that right now. Khalid Phillip is saying that right now on the Pro Wrestling Rundown that the number one thing in the WWE, the one thing that should be looked at the most is the world heavyweight title.
I'll put you.
Yes or no?
Well,
yes or no?
No? They try to portray it as the main thing.
But should it be the main thing?
No, I don't think it should be the main thing anymore. With how everything's laid out, it should. I guess. God, it's a weird spot, so to say.
Okay.
Maybe it should. Maybe it shouldn't. I kind of like how they did with Lesnar not being on the show, like being featured as much as the champion.
I was just about to mention.
It kind of gave way to a lot of different feuds that built up really well.
And it also made John Cena still a legitimate face of the company without the title in the picture.
Yeah, it
people
did.
Like Ziggler wouldn't have gotten a push. Rowan wouldn't have got. What's so funny?
No, it was just a text I just sent. I'm waiting to see what the response is going to be.
Is it about a puppy?
It's about some napkins.
Does anybody want a freaking puppy?
Anyway, let's get back on track here. And so I guess the fact that it's WrestleMania is why I think they should have put I feel like the feud is a little bit lacking.
Mm-hmm.
And God, I'm giving Paul Heyman is a beast on the mic.
That he is.
I mean, the promos he's been cutting the past couple of weeks have just been unbelievable. I mean, honestly, that's the one thing keeping this feud between Roman Reigns and Lesnar alive, I think.
Well, I think that's why Paul Heyman is there. That's his job. That's what he does, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah, and this is where my criticism of Roman Reigns has come in, and it's pretty much in the ring. I did not like him in the ring. And you'll be the first to.
We all know.
I did not like him after the Daniel Bryan match at Fastlane. I'm like, okay, the dude can put on a good match. He still should never hold a mic, though.
I agree with you there, and I'm going to tell you this not to play tit for tat with you, not because I want to attack you, just because you're attacking somebody I defended. But you're right, he should never hold a mic. But you know who else shouldn't hold a mic?
Who?
Somebody who is kind of the opposite of Roman Reigns in your mind, Seth Rollins. Look, I know you're going to say he's a little bit better.
He's done better promos. He has not. He's more believable on the mic than Roman Reigns right now.
Wow, Daddy, awesome room service. Thank you.
Daddy, also have to put on my neck.
Yeah, we just had we had room service in a way, I guess. That was kind of interesting. Now,
very interesting.
Yeah. Sorry for the noise.
Yeah. No, but look, I know you're going to defend him, and Khalid, I love you to death, bro, but you have a tendency to defend things that you like, and you can't find flaws in them. And I know right now you're about to jump in and name some of Seth Rollins' flaws just to kind of prove me wrong.
I'm not. I'm not going to deny Seth Rollins is he's put on better matches than Roman Reigns. He's put on better.
Yes, his ability is better, but that's not the thing.
Okay, I'll put you like this.
I know.
Sure, is Seth Rollins a good speaker? No.
He's a horrible speaker.
He's better than Roman Reigns still.
But you're making it sound like he's leaps and bounds better than Roman Reigns. He's like, okay, Roman Reigns is at the very, 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 very bottom of the barrel. Seth Rollins is like maybe a couple inches above him.
He's still above him.
Oh, I'm not denying that, but you make it sound like you make it sound like he's the next Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No, Seth Rollins is nowhere near there. Okay. I'll admit that he's nowhere near there.
Nowhere near it. Rey Mysterio is better.
I'll agree with you. Seth Rollins. Wait, did you just say Rey Mysterio is better?
Rey Mysterio is better than Seth Rollins.
I don't know,
because Seth Rollins has done comedic promos where he's trying to get a laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, and I just want to point on this for like a couple seconds, and we're not trying to segue into anything new. Did you watch Raw this past Monday? And he was doing the promo where he introduced Randy Orton back into the Authority. It was either this past Monday or the Monday before.
It was the Monday before,
right? And
it was bad watching him do it. I'm not going to deny that.
You got to admit, Kane and Big Show were way better than that.
The way I look at it though, his screen presence when doing those promos is what makes him better and more tolerable than Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns does this whole believe that. It's like, dude, I can't. It's
why he's beat Daniel Bryan. He's won the Royal Rumble. He beat Randy Orton at WrestleMania.
It's just, okay.
He eliminated.
Okay, no.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Believe that. You don't believe that? Let me name some things that you should believe. He won the Royal Rumble. Am I right?
Yeah, he's done that.
The year before that, he broke Kane's record for most eliminations in a Royal Rumble. Did he not?
He's done that.
He tied the record for most eliminations in one Survivor Series. Am I right? He beat a 13-time champion at SummerSlam in Randy Orton. He beat Daniel Bryan, the number one top over guy right now. Okay. How can you not believe that?
Because when he talks, it's just not believable. How he
it doesn't matter what he says. What matters is what he does. And is he getting it done?
Okay, I'll put you like this then.
Is he getting it done? Answer me that question before you put it to me.
Yes, but I can't see him beating Lesnar.
Oh, I didn't say that either.
I still can't see him beating Lesnar. But I'm just saying, he tries to talk a big game, but he can't. Like, I'll be happy if all he does is wrestle matches. I'll be happy. But
so is your legitimate gripe with him just the fact that he picks up a microphone?
Yes,
and that's it.
That is literally it right now.
Thing? All right, guys, you guys heard it. Khalid is a fan of Roman Reigns, except for his promos, and it finally happened.
The problem is though, this is the problem that we're going to be looking at though. Down the line, let's say he wins a championship, and he doesn't improve on the mic skills and can't cut a promo to save his life. How's that going to hamper all the feuds he's put in? You're going to have to rely on almost the person that you're putting him in the feud with to carry those.
Well, but that's what they're there for. See, what WWE is supposed to be is people trying to make the company better.
No,
right?
I agree.
They're trying to make it profitable. So if that means one person utilizing their skills to help someone else make a story better, then they should do that.
Okay,
it's not the fans' fault that it's full of politics.
Let's look at it from this standpoint. Outside of John Cena right now, who can you see carrying a promo, a feud with Roman Reigns for 3 months when it comes to giving promos and stuff like that for the championship?
You mean to carry him?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, John Cena has an impeccable talent he can put someone over just by saying one positive thing about him.
That is true. I'm saying, like I said, outside of John Cena.
Well, I mean,
who on the main event level, I guess you could say. Because
I can't really answer that because you tend, and I'm not picking on you, but you tend to ask very specific questions that can't really be answered.
No, I'm just saying. Okay, Daniel Bryan. I'll say this: when he the short, what was like a month-long feud that they had.
Daniel Bryan is very special.
I mean, him and Daniel Bryan had a reasonable back and forth.
And did you see what they did though? WWE went a little bit of a different route. They they put them in front of each other. There's a little bit of a mutual respect. Yeah. You know, one of them accidentally attacked the other one, and they got retaliation. And there was a couple times when there was a SmackDown where Daniel Bryan came out, was yes, getting Reigns distracted.
Exactly.
Reigns came out signing autographs, and
see. Okay,
that's how they
that whole angle there. Because I'm sorry, but I can't see Daniel Bryan getting distracted by something like that. But granted, they did portray him as, okay, he'll get distracted by something like that.
Really? You can't see the guy who doesn't like people who can't wrestle?
I guess.
Getting distracted? You know. Remember when he slapped Cena because, well, he didn't slap him because he wasn't a wrestler. There was a Japanese tradition.
Yeah, I remember that. That was the Daniel Bryan John Cena feud. That's
it wasn't really a feud.
It wasn't. It was
little...
just respect. I guess you can't even say it was respect. I mean, it was.
I honestly saw that as the start of a chapter. It wasn't really a feud. John Cena needed to go have surgery. Who was over right now? Daniel Bryan.
It was a way
what
of,
did they want to initiate?
It was a way of, in a sense, temporarily handing the keys over to Daniel Bryan for a little bit.
No.
I say it like
because
that.
they took the title away from him.
When I say handing the... Okay, I guess let me rephrase it. Being the big guy. A big face.
Well, you also got to remember, the Authority was getting hot at the moment.
Dude, they were really hot in the moment.
Right, and I do want to apologize, guys. I know we're jumping all over the place, but like we said before, and you know what? It should be our motto. Forgive us for sidetracking, but you can't help but sidetrack on wrestling.
Yeah, you can't.
And I'm almost positive nobody's going to get mad at us because we're talking about something that they love. If they're listening to this, I don't think anybody's getting mad because we're sidetracked.
And I'm going back to the movement that we're trying to start here by bringing back kayfabe, and you know
I haven't heard any rumors at all.
I've been so inclined. Like, I've seen so many messages where it's like, oh, rumors on how Roman Reigns versus Lesnar match is going to end. Rumors on the Intercontinental title. I'm avoiding those as best as possible. If you looked it up, that's all. That's good for you. I want to watch WrestleMania this year and be like, man, I did not see that coming. I don't want to be like, dude, I told you this was going to happen. You know, I mean, I told you the rumor said it was going to happen.
Right, because there's nothing worse than that one person standing in the corner with their arms,
grumpy,
crossed. Like, well, look, he's going to win. He's going to win. He's going to win. I'm like, oh my god, shut up. Let me watch.
You got to blame the Royal Rumble for that for me. After the Royal Rumble this year, I made a promise that I'm not going to look up rumors and speculation as to what's going to happen anymore, because the rumors I looked up for Royal Rumble ruined the Royal Rumble for me. Mm-hmm. It flat out ruined, and I'm pretty sure it ruined it for many, many people.
Well, for me, I didn't look at the rumors. I heard everything that you told me about Bubba Ray coming back, a couple other people coming back, and you said Roman Reigns was going to win it. I didn't believe you. Not to say that you're a liar, but I just really thought that Ziggler or Bryan was going to win.
Yeah.
I thought Reigns was going to put on another dominant performance, but I didn't think he was going to win.
Exactly.
And to finally bury the hatchet with all that, me and Khaled have no problem with the fact that Reigns won. It was just
how they booked it. Exactly.
And that's the final nail in the coffin. We just hate how it was booked. How do you eliminate your most over guy?
But once again, to bring back kayfabe, we have to look past that and say, hey, Daniel Bryan got eliminated.
Yeah, but that never happened back in the day. I mean,
I know.
People talk about John Cena being a Superman. Everybody was a Superman back in the day.
That is
Taker,
true.
Kane,
Austin, Rock, Triple H
Angle,
for a while, HBK, pretty much DX, you could say.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was a Superman. Big Show. You go in there, you get hit with a finishing move, you're out. Nowadays, it's like you can kick out of a finishing move. It's so easy. But yeah, like you said, Royal Rumble, Reigns. Khaled even admitted the other day he's kind of excited to see what's going to happen. I mean, it's a mystery wrapped in a box with a question mark on it. We don't know what it is, and I'm kind of excited to see what's going to happen.
The only thing I don't want to see happen, and this is not going on rumors or anything like that. This is just going on the fact that no one knows. Okay, we all, I guess some of us, maybe not everybody, but most of us knew about Lesnar's contract, coming to an end around WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And the last time his contract ended around WrestleMania, he had a match with Goldberg, and we all know what happened in that match. Mm-hmm. Granted, both guys were going their separate ways at the time, not just one. So, in a sense, this WrestleMania match between Reigns and Lesnar, Brock Lesnar could go out there and put on a stinker of a match that just screws Reigns over in the end. Technically, Lesnar couldn't make or break Roman Reigns with this match.
He could. He definitely could. I don't think he will, though. I think with Lesnar coming back, with WWE giving him everything that he's wanted and not overusing him, I can kind of see a little bit of, it's going to sound dumb and most people might not see where I'm coming from with this, but I can see where he kind of appreciates,
I guess
Because it's well known that he does not like to travel very much.
That is true.
And he has a family. And not very many people know this, but I think he has 2 or 3 kids.
Something like that. I can't remember.
So,
but it would be interesting to see what happens in that match. My prediction, and I have 2 predictions actually for this match.
Okay.
One, it's going to be a slugfest that goes back and forth with Lesnar somehow pulling off a win. The second prediction I have, actually make that 3 predictions. God, dude, I have 3 predictions for it. The second outcome I can see happening, and I kind of hope it doesn't happen, is that Paul Heyman screws over Lesnar and helps Roman Reigns win. And the reason why I can see that happening is because if you listen to these are just my notes. I just keep it open in case I don't like to shut off or anything. It's just the matches that we got to go through. We start off with the championship match right off the bat. But anyway, with how Paul Heyman's been talking about Roman Reigns, saying how he could see him as a Paul Heyman guy, how he has respect for him, all this stuff. Would it surprise you if Lesnar does decide to walk away from WWE, and in order to kind of get Roman Reigns over in a in a bad guy type role? Because really and truly, he's caught on somewhat as a baby face, but not fully to where, okay, they could go either way with him still. Mm-hmm. Would it shock you if Paul Heyman somehow screws over Lesnar and allows Roman Reigns to win?
It would shock me because it's been done before.
But it's at WrestleMania. It could happen.
Yeah, but you don't screw over the heel that's a babyface to put over the babyface.
That's going to be a heel?
Yeah, it's not going to work.
We never know what they're thinking anymore.
It's 2015. WWE still makes some mistakes, but they've made a lot less mistakes now than they ever have. So I don't think they would do that. What they should have done, and I'm sorry, are you done with your...
No, my last prediction is Lesnar's going to win, but he's going to be worn out to the point Seth Rollins is going to cash in the Money in the Bank and curb stomp him and win the title.
Okay. Well, I want to tell you right now, Khaled, all 3 of your predictions,
yeah,
I agree with just none of them.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to tell you what they should have done. If you want to screw somebody over, you have Heyman jump ship from Lesnar to Reigns a month before WrestleMania.
Makes sense.
Lesnar's already getting pops. Why not give him more?
True. True.
Now he's the champion. He can still be a heel. He can still beat the crap out of whoever he wants in the back. But he has somebody who's being looked at as more of a bad guy because Heyman is pushing this guy. Reigns is the future. That's how Heyman is going to put it. That's what should have happened. A month before WrestleMania, Heyman should have screwed Lesnar, screwed him over in a match, or Reigns comes down to the ring or something like that, and Heyman gives him a chair and he beats the crap out of Lesnar or something like that.
Yeah.
So Lesnar's still technically a heel, but now he has more fans more than ever because more people graduate. What's the word I'm looking for? Gravitate. More people gravitate towards a babyface, especially if they're going against a heel.
Yeah.
And Reigns would go into WrestleMania with more heat than ever.
Oh yeah.
Ever before.
Well, they are supposed to meet face to face on Monday Night Raw. It could still happen. Granted, it's only a week before Mania, but you never know.
Before Mania, it's not enough time.
We'll see how the fans react to both of them being in the ring at the same time.
Yeah.
Who do you think gets the biggest pop when that happens? Like face pop.
Face pop? It's gonna be Lesnar.
Yeah, I see it being like I could actually see both of them standing in the ring, and we hear a "Let's go Lesnar, Reigns, Roman sucks" or something like that.
I can see a "Let's go Lesnar, let's go Reigns."
I can see that too. That's very possible.
But my prediction is going to be Lesnar. I had 2 predictions. Okay. One of them is more of a fantasy than a prediction.
Okay.
But I'll save that because we have a...
yeah, that's right. We're going to do a fantasy match.
Fantasy moment. Stuff that we would like to see or stuff that we would want to see.
Exactly.
So I'll save that one. My prediction is it's going to go back and forth. Lesnar's going to dominate most of the time because he's the beast incarnate. He's done a lot of stuff that you can't really take away, You can't discredit him by having somebody like Reigns taking over the match. I think this is how it should end. Lesnar dominates most of the time. Reigns comes back every now and then just to have his momentum stop. He picks it back up one last time He spears Lesnar. He Superman punches him. He knows that he can't pin him after one Superman punch, so he goes back, cocks his arm one more time for one more Superman punch. Lesnar gets up, groggy as hell. Reigns goes for the punch. Lesnar catches him with the F5, hits him with the F5. 1, 2, 3.
Lesnar wins.
And then Seth Rollins comes out. And one or two things there. And this isn't really a fantasy. If that happens, I can see one or two things happening. Either Rollins going in there immediately and curb stomping Lesnar, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Or Rollins going down there, Randy Orton stopping him, or maybe he cashes it in, or he puts it in there. It's like, hey, I want the match. They ring for the match. Orton comes down, RKO, F5 from Lesnar. Rollins becomes the second person ever to try to cash it in,
but fails.
Right, because technically John Cena, he technically succeeded because he won the match but didn't win the title.
True.
So it'll be Sandown Rollins.
True.
And it would be a waste because Rollins is the future. I mean, but I'm not gonna be one of those guys that says I don't think he's ready. I think he's ready because what we define as ready is ability. He's got the ability.
He's got the ability. He can.
But right now, you can't give Rollins the title, even though he has ability. You can't give him the title. And the reason why
you're gonna have to put the Authority full blast on him again.
Right, you're gonna have
to push him.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send them out there. You're gonna have to put them up against Lesnar to some extent. But and trust me, Rollins has the ability. There's no doubt about that. But the reason I say you can't give him the title, even with the Money in the Bank, is because how are you going to give Rollins a title, given he has all the ability that he has, and not give it to somebody, and not even put them in the picture like Ziggler,
Daniel
Bryan, Ambrose, Wyatt, Cesaro. You got all those people. I understand Rollins is the future, but you got to remember the only reason he's the future is because he was the least popular person in the Shield.
That is true.
So I wouldn't mind seeing Rollins lose but it would have to be in a glorious fashion.
I think if Triple H wasn't engrossed in that feud with Sting, I think it'd be a perfect time to give Rollins the title because then he'll have the full backing of the Authority, you know, to help push him on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But because let's jump right into that match then, Triple H versus Sting.
Oh my god!
I think because of that match, because of that feud that's been going on, I just can't see. I can't see the Authority fully going 100% behind Rollins right now. You know, if you look at it, I mean, they kind of have like Authority, which is Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. They're focused on Sting. Mm-hmm. Then you have everybody else in the Authority focused on Seth Rollins and whatever he's doing. I think the only way you get Seth Rollins like the big push as the champion is if you have Stephanie and Triple H with him. It doesn't matter about the other guys just help out a little bit, but I think Stephanie and Triple H make the bigger picture for him. So because of that Sting Triple H match and that, I guess, that feud, which I'm pretty sure I could see that feud going on a little bit past WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, you know, I'm pretty sure if Triple H loses, he's not going to go down just like, oh, I lost, whatever, move on type of thing. You know, he's going to want to exact his revenge, of course.
Right.
And same thing if Sting loses, you know, really is they can't have Sting lose at WrestleMania, can they?
If it was WCW booking this, Sting would lose.
But it is WWE with and you know, maybe Triple H might have more say in WWE than Vince McMahon now. Maybe it's about 50-50. Maybe
it could be, but if you look at the track record of legends that have come back at WrestleMania,
sure, they have a pretty.
It's very rare that the legends lose. The only time I've ever seen a legend lose was
WrestleMania 25, HBK versus Taker.
No, I'm talking about people that have been retired or already in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Yeah, it was WrestleMania 25, I believe, but it wasn't that. It was Chris Jericho versus Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
And a couple of the legends, right? That's when
Jericho
was talking a lot of trash about him.
Ricky
right?
the Dragon.
And Jericho won, but then got punched in the face by Mickey Rourke, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And guess compared to when Bret Hart came back, beat Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
You had The Rock come back and beat John Cena.
We didn't have. Well, what about when was The Rock and Sock versus Evolution? Would that count? Was The Rock really retired at that time?
No.
Though? I mean, he was
because Rock had one of the best matches ever against Austin the year before.
True. I guess that year. I mean, but although he had been off for a little while.
And Foley had been in some programs.
What about Foley versus Edge?
I would consider that
a legend coming back.
A legend coming back.
So there'll be that match too then. But okay, so I guess what about the build up of the Triple H Sting match? I mean,
I love it.
I
love the fact that they threw in that it's not Triple H versus Sting, it's Triple H versus WCW.
Exactly.
You know?
It's almost like the last of the Attitude Era versus WCW now, which technically it's like the culmination, so to say, of the Monday Night Wars.
Right, because if anybody, embodies WCW, it's Sting.
Last man out, dude. He was the last one to leave. Technically, you know, and if you look at the superstars from the Attitude Era, okay, yeah, I mean Kane and Big Show were still around, but
if you're talking about significance,
Triple H.
He's been the one constant, you know.
Technically, we're looking at literally the Attitude Era, WWE versus WCW. Once again, the Monday Night Wars, the final battle of the Monday Night Wars. Technically, maybe this is one thing that WCW could hold up and finally say, "Hey, we won." You know,
especially because, and this is aimed towards all the Triple H haters out there that say that Triple H, all he does is bury people. Let's count down the WrestleManias and look at the matches that he's had.
The three times he's gone against Taker, he's lost.
Mm-hmm. And that puts Taker over more than anything.
Exactly, especially the last one.
Because Triple H could have won those last two.
Oh yes.
Let's count it down real quick because I remember all of them. Okay, so WrestleMania 30, he put over Bryan.
God.
Supposedly, all they wanted to do was put him down, but Triple H and Daniel Bryan has come out in podcasts saying, "I don't think I should go over just yet. I don't think I should go over just yet." So it wasn't them putting him down, whether they believe in him or not. It happened the way it happened, and Triple H put him over. And who else can say that they beat Evolution in one night, single-handedly?
God, dude, that is. I mean, you're talking about beating one of the greatest stables, and I don't care if how much you argue with me. Evolution is by far one of the greatest stables ever formed. Yeah. I mean, you're talking about they had the youth of Randy Orton. They had the power of Batista,
the tutelage
of Ric Flair, and then the cerebral assassin of Triple H. I mean, you took the best of you took the four best competitors of their generations, so to say, four of the best of their generations in a way.
Well, it was the past, future, and present.
Exactly, all put together, and I mean, they held all the titles at one point.
That was pretty amazing.
I mean, yeah, all they were missing was a chick to put with them, and they would have. I'm pretty sure they would have had everything.
Mm-hmm.
But you could argue with me for months. I will still defend that Evolution is one of the greatest stables put together.
It has to be, because the only thing you can really get mad at is the fact that Triple H had the title so many times. But you go back and you really look at those feuds while he had that title. Dude, could you really have seen Booker T winning at WrestleMania?
No.
Nobody really believed in him that much.
You couldn't see him really lose. Even when you went against Scott Steiner, really?
I mean, everybody wanted Scott Steiner to win because he was the face and because he was the genetic freak show and he was doing push-ups.
Goldberg put up a fight, but
and he put Goldberg over.
Exactly. But what happened in the end? He still walked away. He rightfully so. I mean, you couldn't beat him. I mean, I think that's one thing we're gonna have to break down. Some of the top stables in WWE over the past 20 years.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And you know what? You might hate me for this. I'll probably put the Shield in the top 10.
Why would I hate you for that?
Oh, I figure somebody might hate me for putting the Shield in the top 10. I mean, there are some people that would hate me for saying the Shield should be in the top 10 of that stable.
No, not at all. I mean, if that feud could have gone on, if that stable could have gone on a little bit longer, because they were knocking out top guys from day one.
And I think if they had I think if they had given the Wyatt family some more quality wins, like over top guys, like you were saying, I think the Wyatt family would have deserved to be up there as well.
Yeah.
Granted,
and I still haven't given up on the Wyatt family.
Didn't Bray Wyatt say that, technically the Wyatt family is still around? They're just doing their own thing for right now?
Yeah, but I also read a magazine where they were evaluating every wrestler that's heading into WrestleMania, and there were 2 comments made by Bray Wyatt about Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. One is a monster. Now he has guidance. Imagine what he's going to do. The other one had no purpose. Bray Wyatt gave him purpose.
Oh yeah.
Be on the lookout for Luke Harper. So I guess they're just playing the story really well. I mean, I just want to see what's going to happen.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with the Wyatt family. I would love. Those are two. The Shield and the Wyatt family are 2 of the best stables in recent years.
Right.
I mean, I would have liked to see Dean Ambrose when he was the United States champion defend the title a little bit more than, what was it, like once? Was it once or twice? Like a year or something like that?
Who? Dean Ambrose?
Yeah.
No, he defended the title like 8 or 9 times.
You sure?
They weren't significant matches, but
I guess that's
some of them. It was like maybe 3 or 4 pay-per-view matches. Some of them were SmackDown.
I guess.
Defenses.
Just don't remember them that much. I guess, like you said, they weren't significant.
You can't say I guess when I'm telling
no,
you what happened.
I'm saying, I guess the reason why I don't remember them is because, like you said, they weren't significant matches,
Yeah, it made no sense. I mean, plus the matches were against people that
you should be
had already had the title for so long,
Oh, okay.
I mean, what's his name? Kingston.
Oh, okay.
Miz. Those default guys. Like, what do we do with them? Well, let's
give them a title shot.
Give them the mid-card title, and
Gotcha. But okay, so let's go back to the
Okay.
we got sidetracked so easily on that one.
So
Triple H versus Sting.
We're talking about people that Triple H has put over. He's put over Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
He's put over Sheamus. I mean, he beat him at WrestleMania, but he got destroyed at Extreme Rules. He put over Taker because he went over in that match and ended up losing it. Both times. He also put, it was at 27, 26, 25.
Let's go back to 20. He put over Chris Benoit.
That
can't I mean, come on.
Let's not skip. Let's not skip this. Okay, so 24. He's the son-in-law of the CEO, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't win the triple threat match between him, Cena, and Orton. Orton won that match.
That is true.
And in all honesty, Orton needed that more than anything.
Oh yeah.
To legitimize
his character, his persona, just his legacy, so to speak.
No, not his legacy, but the fact that he's the top guy.
I think he needed this for his legacy a little bit.
No, it was not for his legacy.
I think he needed a little bit.
No, because he hadn't gone crazy yet. They needed to legitimize him as a legit top guy.
Oh, this is before he went crazy?
I'm telling you.
Okay.
Why are you questioning me?
I'm not questioning. I'm just like making
Yes, you are.
Okay.
You're questioning me. You're asking me.
So this is before he went crazy?
Yes.
Though. Okay.
I mean, he was still punting people in the head, but he wasn't hearing voices in his head just yet. So, he put over Orton in that match. WrestleMania 23, he was out. WrestleMania 22, he put over John Cena.
Remember that John Cena entrance came out with the Tommy guns and stuff like that? The guys with Tommy guns? Yeah. Wasn't CM Punk was one of those guys?
He was one of those guys, but let's not talk about Punk. He doesn't give a crap about us. We don't give a crap about him right now. True. WrestleMania 21, he put over Batista. Look at the people that Triple H has put over and look at how far they went.
Exactly.
Batista became a multiple-time champion. Cena, come on. It speaks for itself.
Cena's almost Ric Flair status when it comes to title reigns.
He's one title away.
God, dude, that's why you want... See, they need to... We're sidetracking again here. They need to build a story around Cena just zoning in on wanting that one more title reign.
No, that would ruin his character.
You think?
Yeah. Putting people over. Orton. Look what happened with Orton. Sheamus became a legit top guy. He's a 3-time champion.
Daniel Bryan.
I mean, look at Daniel Bryan. Look at Taker. He's still coming back. People, he almost took the streak away, but he didn't, and it just goes to show how dominant Undertaker is.
Exactly.
Of course, kayfabe.
Yeah. So you got Sting going over Triple H?
It has to be that way.
I'm right there with you too. I actually see this being one of those matches where I think it's going to be one of those where we're going to get a bunch of near falls. where it could be either Triple H or Sting. We're not sure which one for a while, and then Sting pulls it out.
I think this is going to be an old school WWF, WCW kind of match where, like it was Hogan and Nash and Flair. And
Not
Sting.
the finger poke, right?
No, it's not going to be a finger poke. It's going to be... Don't be surprised if you see Sting, without much effort, put Triple H in a finishing move. Because that's just what it is. And he did that at Survivor Series where he kicked Triple H in the stomach.
Yeah.
And Triple H went down like a sack of potatoes. Yeah,
True.
I was thinking the whole time, I'm like, can he not get back from that? But he didn't. And he got put in the Scorpion Deathlock. It was all about the delivery, the results, what the fans wanted. Sometimes people don't want to see it, like, not executed 100%. But who really wanted to see Triple H go over Sting?
I don't think anyone wants to see.
I don't think anybody wants to see
I think
that.
if Triple H goes over Sting, we might be close to seeing a repeat of the jaws dropping at WrestleMania 30 when Taker's streak got ended.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I watched WrestleMania 30 again the past 8 just to see Taker versus Lesnar again.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that place was like loud as hell. And then when the ref's hand came down for 3, you could hear a pin drop just about. I mean, it got quiet. Like people
they expected it because
people were still. I mean, even when the ref hit 3 and the bell rang, people were like, "Yeah, what?" I think everyone had that.
it was quieter than that.
Yeah, I mean, it was just unbelievable the reactions that.
And they knew it was going to happen because when somebody is announced the winner, what happens? You hear their music, right?
Yeah.
That music wasn't played until like 20, 30 seconds later.
I think WWE was like, let's see what happens, and they're like, wait, hold up, dude, you guys hear that? They're quiet.
I heard Heyman in a podcast said that Lesnar legitimately thought he had lost his hearing in that match because the crowd was dead silent.
I mean, it was ridiculous, dude. I remember we were watching it. We were talking. We're laughing it up. Oh, Lesnar F5 him out.
One,
Taker was gonna kick
2,
out. It was like, oh, he's gonna kick
3.
out. What?
What the hell just happened?
I know it was that immediate. Like, because you see Lesnar hit him, and you've grown accustomed to seeing Taker somehow kick out of something, and then it doesn't happen.
And then you have dumb people thinking that like, oh no, he legitimately beat him. Like he for real beat him. Like there was no way he could beat him. I'm like, you do know it's scripted, right? But there's some people out there that still don't think it's scripted.
I know, but we go back to our kayfabe a little bit here.
All right.
But okay, so you got Sting going over Triple H. I got Sting going over Triple H. I say it's gonna be about 15 to 20 minutes long. It's gonna be. I think
it's gonna be one of the biggest stories told that night.
Yeah, it's gonna be
a lot's gonna happen.
It's gonna be a story told in the ring. There's gonna be a lot of. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a very slow paced, a lot of almost like trash talking, so to say, back and forth. Playing up certain things here and there. I would not be surprised to see Triple H pull out a sledgehammer and we have a sledgehammer versus baseball bat standoff.
That's gonna happen.
I would not be surprised if that happens. I'm looking forward to the story that they're going to tell in the ring, though.
I'm going to disagree with you on it's going to be a 15 to 20 minute back and forth. Is that what you said?
No, it's just going to be about 15 to 20 minute match. I can't really see it going much longer or much shorter than that.
No. It's going to go 15, 20 minutes for sure. But I don't see it just them going back and forth. Remember how I told you it's going to be like an old school WWF, WCW match? Yeah. This is what's going to happen. Kane and Big Show are going to get involved. They're going to get their big butts whooped by Sting too. One chop here, one chop there, and Sting, he's older. I know he can still go in the ring for some matches. Given that people accommodate him, but he's not going to be the old Sting.
I wouldn't be surprised to see like a Dolph Ziggler show up to help out.
That's not going to happen.
I know it probably won't, but it would not surprise me.
It would surprise me. Now, if this was legit, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if every superstar came out. But is this going to be the last match? It could be.
We don't know.
It could be.
That is true.
And speaking of that, let me just pick on that for a minute or so. If Lesnar and Reigns is not the last match, expect for some stuff to happen afterwards.
Oh yeah.
So if it's not the last match, but if it is the last match, Sting and Triple H, it's gonna close out in
it's gonna be a grand fashion,
awesome fashion, just like last year's was with Daniel Bryan. I mean, that roof blew off that place.
Oh, dude, it was crazy.
And like I said, I can see Kane and Big Show getting in there, trying to put their hands on Sting, and Sting, this 57-year-old man, is gonna beat the crap out of these two guys. He's gonna grab him.
He's gonna baseball bat him.
Baseball bat him. He's gonna death drop him. I see Sting put in Triple H in the Scorpion Deathlock.
Oh man, that's gonna be.
And either he taps out or he passes out.
Something like that. It's gonna be. All I know is gonna be. It's gonna be an interesting match to watch. It's gonna be a great match to watch. I think it'll be one of those matches that it's not gonna be high flying, risk taking, power versus power. It's gonna be a psychological story that we're gonna witness unfold in the match.
Especially because Stephanie's gonna be out there.
Oh yeah,
Authority's gonna be out there.
It's gonna be a great story told. I think it's gonna be one of the best stories told at WrestleMania.
You know what I could see happen? Not Ziggler coming out, but some old school WCW alumni.
Like, what about a Ric Flair and a Booker T, who have both had confrontations with Triple H recently, in a way? Mm-hmm. I could see that happening too.
Not necessarily getting involved in the match, but just kind of backing up WCW's legacy.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe, and I doubt this will happen. I doubt it. Maybe Ric Flair and Booker T are the ones that help take out Big Show and Kane or something.
I can see that happening.
You know?
I really can.
I mean, maybe that's what happens. Mm-hmm. Who knows? All I know is that I'm looking forward to that match. Let's move over to another match that I think is going to be a great story told in the ring. And it's going to be a great... I think this match is going to give me goosebumps.
If this match was just a 22-minute story ending with just one tombstone... I'm exaggerating, but I'll be happy.
We're talking about Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt, and you want to talk about a guy carrying a feud when the other person's only interaction in the feud so far has been a small amount of text that says "The Man returns" and shows the WrestleMania 31 logo. Bray Wyatt has done an unbelievable job building up this feud.
Well, sometimes it's not hard to build up a feud when you're going after one of the most beloved superstars, you know. But
I mean, dude, the cryptic messages before Fastlane to the Fastlane when he comes out, and you're thinking, oh my god, is it really Taker?
And the fact that Wyatt said what he said. If he hadn't said exactly what he said,
he's the new face of Fair and everything.
Yeah,
dude,
I wouldn't believe I would not believe in the feud.
I know he is. This man has done an unbelievable job in building up this feud. This is probably one of the more believable characters WWE has.
And you know, it's funny because I've heard a podcast done with Bray Wyatt. You know, with him. Not being the Bray Wyatt character, but it's hard for me to look at Bray Wyatt and not picture him
as Bray Wyatt. I know. It's like honestly, I think if I was to see him just walking down the streets one day, I'm like, just gonna stay away from you I'm gonna go this way, you go your way. You know, let's go our separate ways here. But I can't see me really ever wanting to be like, hey, Bray Wyatt, high five, buddy. What's going on?
Because I can see him smiling at me and going.
that laugh, though, man. That laugh just...
Yeah. It's definitely spine tingling.
I've told you this several times before. I would love to see him do... it's been brought up a couple times of a Wyatt family movie where it's not so much... the Wyatt family, but they use Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan, in the movie to build a movie around them, so to say.
Right.
Like, based off the characters that they portray and everything. I think that would be a pretty interesting horror movie. It would all come down to...
I would be afraid of it being a horror movie because of the fact that there are people out there, like younger kids, like 12, 13, 14, that like the Wyatt family, and to see them in a violent nature...
I guess it would have to be one of those psychological thrillers then.
Yeah, it would have to be one of those very, very on the edge, like borderline rated R movie.
Yeah.
It'd be PG-13, but borderline rated R.
Yeah.
They don't show killing or, anything like that, but they show other things that obviously aren't good, like maybe kidnapping or torture, but not necessarily physical torture.
I see him as one of those mental mind screwing guys.
Or visionary kind of way, because there
a
are
cult
people,
follower, a cult leader, so to say.
kind of like what was his name? Was it Raymond Valentine or Richard Valentine from The Kingsman?
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah.
He was able to convince President Obama himself,
Oh, yeah.
look, this is that, get rid of this, you get that.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm on board. I can see Bray Wyatt
being one of those.
like, hey, what's your problem? Well, that's the problem. How are you going to get rid of it? The only way to get rid of it is to get rid of this. Ha ha ha. Now he has more followers.
Exactly. I could see that happening.
Yeah.
I would love to see that movie, to be honest. Please make that movie. If you're a movie maker and you're in love with the Wyatts and you want to make a movie about the Wyatts, please make that movie. Make it happen. Please. Okay, I'm done begging now.
Okay, enough about the movie. Okay, so
Who do you see winning that match?
I see Undertaker winning that match. I see Undertaker recognizing Bray Wyatt's performance
And passing the torch, so to say, to Wyatt as a new
not
face.
passing the torch, but just when sometimes you don't need to pass the torch. If you acknowledge someone,
Uh-huh.
and you are who you are, and you're acknowledging, because I'll give you one example, and I'm not going to sidetrack too much on this. I rewatched one of my favorite pay-per-views, and I love watching this pay-per-view over and over. Payback 2013.
Yeah.
It was the one where AJ Lee won her title for the first time, where CM Punk returned after WrestleMania, losing to Undertaker. Well, I think the first match or the second match, surprised that it was actually good, and something happened in that pay-per-view that, brace yourself, because you're going to be like, say, what?
Oh, yeah.
Give me your real reaction, okay? Miz was so over in
What?
that match. Miz was over. People wanted the Miz to win that match,
What?
and they were mad because he did win that match.
What?
Yeah. Miz was in a triple threat match with Wade Barrett and Curtis Axel for the Intercontinental title.
Oh, God.
It ended by the Miz putting Wade Barrett in the figure four,
Uh-huh.
and people were going nuts. They wanted the Miz to win. He arched his back, like he arched back more to put more pressure on the figure four. Curtis Axel got in the ring, covered Wade Barrett. He's now getting pinned and figure four. Curtis Axel won the match. That's kind of what I mean by giving somebody, not necessarily passing of the torch, but your thumbs up, your approval. Because Ric Flair
Your
gave
stamp of
Miz
approval.
right. Because Ric Flair for weeks before that.
I bet Ric Flair wish he took that back now.
Well, I mean, it's not really his fault. I mean, it's creative. I mean,
Yeah.
because I heard that there's 27 different writers, but not all of them are wrestling people. Some of these people are love.
You know, one of them was Freddie Prinze Jr.
Cool.
Is he a wrestling person? Nope.
Yeah, but sometimes, to be honest, sometimes a fan has the best ideas.
True.
Sometimes, not all the time.
True.
But some of these people on the creative team, they're not all wrestling guys. They're people from soap operas who they're brought in for the
drama,
love
yeah.
aspect of any storyline going on, or from like I don't know, like a CSI kind of thing. Like how can you make it, just different, But that was the booking. But anyway, with Ric Flair giving the Miz his approval and showing him or giving him the figure four leg lock, Miz would have never been over, even though he was a face, because he's been a face before, and I still didn't cheer him. But in that match, I was pretty impressed, and I wouldn't have mind seeing Miz win. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. I can see Undertaker winning the match, barely. Bray Wyatt putting on a hell of a match, taking Undertaker to the limit. Not necessarily Brock Lesnar limit, but they're going to put on a good match.
Yeah.
It's going to be believable. I think Taker will win, but he is going to acknowledge the crap out of Wyatt.
Yeah, I see it happening too. I don't see Taker losing twice at WrestleMania. I just don't. Once was a shocker. 2 would just be blasphemy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
Especially if... What I'm hoping is Taker has one more match in him.
Sting,
WrestleMania 32. Somebody told me that legitimately they heard this is Taker's last match. But man, what a way to ride into the sunset. WrestleMania 32. So close to his hometown in Dallas.
Yeah.
Last match. The only reason it's going to be a last match is because it's going to be said Undertaker should go in there with a promo and saying, I've done what I needed to do. I've proved what I needed to prove. This and this, this and that. WrestleMania 32, it's over.
Yeah.
You announced that as your last match. You were going to get so many. That is going to be the.
Look at it like this. That stadium right now, as it is, for football games, could hold 100,000 people.
Next year it's going to break the record.
It's going to be funny. It's going to be huge.
Because the record is 93,000, which was I think WrestleMania 3.
Dude, that's gone. 93,000.
Well, I mean, the record still stands.
I'm saying.
But it's going to be
next
gone.
year. That's gone. That's gone.
I mean, who's not going to buy every single ticket?
Oh yeah.
To WrestleMania 32, and that stadium can hold 108,000. That's 15,000 more.
That's as a football stadium. You're not talking about seats that you put on the field or anything like that either.
It's going to go crazy.
It's going to be packed.
And if somehow me and Khalid happen to come into $10,000,
so
we'll be there.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll do our best.
All right. But I think he shouldn't lose because I would like to either see him win his last match against Sting at 32 or lose his last match to Sting at 32.
Be a fitting way to go out against Sting.
Right.
You know.
Because, to be honest with you, 22-2 still sounds pretty damn good.
You know. And, okay, there's one thing I want to address real quickly. I was reading, and this is going back to Taker's streak. I was going back looking through some old articles and everything, and one of the things that kept popping up was, sorry about that, Undertaker losing the streak was the worst thing to happen in the history of wrestling. Listen, Undertaker losing the streak, yes, it was shocking for diehard fans. It was hurt. It hurt. Dude, I couldn't believe it. I was in disbelief.
Dude, I was an empty shell for about 2 weeks.
Okay, but what we have to realize is, you look at the person, you look at the wrestler that you put him against. You look at the qualifications Lesnar has had throughout his career.
Well, you know what? I'm going to stop you there. We're not going to talk about that because it's been said. It's legitimate. Lesnar can take it. What I want you to look at was the payoff.
Oh, yeah.
Was the payoff worth it?
Look at the payoff.
People still talk about it to this day.
Okay.
Even though, hold on, and I got to say this because it's borderline, it's kind of dumb in a way, but if you look at it as a wrestling fan, it's genius. It's dumb because we say legitimately he's the only one that can defeat The Undertaker. Yeah. You know, if anybody was ever going to take it away from him.
Yeah.
But then we go back to, this is Lesnar. He is the one that's the one in 21-1.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like your reality era over here, legitimately he can beat him, but you're also kayfabe by saying he's the only one to ever beat The Undertaker. Yeah. Which I'm sure some of these guys could have beat Undertaker like in a real match. But that's what you need to look at. What was the payoff? They're still talking about it to this day.
And
he destroyed Cena. He destroyed
Seth Rollins and Cena.
And
he's going to destroy Roman Reigns next.
We never know. That's probably what he's going to do. And it probably would have been Daniel Bryan if everybody got him what they wanted.
And people are saying, you know, it tarnished the record. And I'm like, it does not tarnish the record. What it does is it makes that record still stand out. Granted, 21-1, that's still an impressive record.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
I still would have liked to have seen
22-0
undefeated, but I understand.
Right, 21-1 is still an unbelievable record to have. Because you're talking about a 21 win streak at WrestleMania. But what you also did was you built up another star in Brock Lesnar. Even though, granted, he was already a star.
No, but like you said, they did build him up, but they didn't build him up as a star, as somebody that needed the help. You built him up as the undeniable, legitimate, excuse my language, fucking monster that he is.
Exactly. And now, you know, and Grant, as much as I dislike Roman Reigns on the mic, guess what you can do now? If Roman Reigns loses to Lesnar, but loses in a physical back and forth, just slugfest, you just built another star off of that 21-1.
Yeah. You
just put another star on the board. And guess what? You bring out Seth. Let's say Seth Rollins already kind of attached himself to it by saying, hey, remember, he broke Lesnar's ribs. He put a chink in the armor. Guess what? You got a small star attached to that 21-1 now. In a sense.
Yeah.
Right? Let's say Seth Rollins cashes in and curb stomps Lesnar. Guess what Rollins is going to be talking about?
Well, I don't think he'll go back to Undertaker, but
he's going to mention that Lesnar is the one in 21-1.
I don't think they would do that only because it would seem very, very...
I would not be surprised if they did that.
That's pathetic, though. That's pathetic. That's like me going into the ring, covering a concussed Undertaker and say, I beat the streak.
No, I understand that. But what I'm saying is, Seth Rollins is going to go out there, and he's going to talk a lot of trash about being the one to beat Lesnar. Mm-hmm. He will do that. And everyone's going to look back and be like, wait, who's Brock Lesnar? Oh, Lesnar's the one that beat Taker at WrestleMania.
I'm sorry. I got to stop you there, bro.
No, hold on. You got to think about how people look at things.
I love you to death, bro.
You got to look at how people think.
Khaled.
People are going to be like that.
Khaled. No.
I guarantee you people are going to be like that.
I'm not trying to fight with you here, bro, but what you just said is...
People are going to look back at that.
What you just said is garbage, man.
People are going to look back at that.
If people are going to look back at it and say, who is Brock Lesnar?
No, when I say...
Then you're talking about a person who's not even a wrestling fan.
Okay.
And they're not going to appreciate and understand who Undertaker is.
I may have over-exaggerated a little bit with that. But
you
what I'm saying...
over-exaggerated a lot.
What I'm saying is that Lesnar beating Taker... Anyone that comes close to doing damage to Lesnar or beating Lesnar or anything like that, it solidifies them a little bit more. Not a lot, not a huge amount, but it gives them a little bit of solidity.
And that's why I said it's not going to happen, because you can't have Reigns, somebody who, yes, he's done some pretty amazing things so far, kayfabe style, but you can't have him beat Lesnar fair in a match when... This is the guy who beat Undertaker. Exactly. This is the guy who came out on top against Reigns and Cena. And this is the guy who destroyed Cena in one match.
Exactly.
He had control of that match the entire time.
Technically not one match, because if you think back, Lesnar's first match back, what was it, 2012 Extreme Rules?
Well, I'm talking about recently.
Oh, yeah, recently. Yeah, okay.
Because his first match was a loss, and I do agree with the losses that Lesnar has had in the WWE so far with Triple H and Cena, because it makes sense. Yeah. But a lot of people say that he should have went over, which that makes sense too. But I mean, it was a feel-good story to see Triple H avenge his family at WrestleMania. It was a feel-good story to see, Lesnar beat the crap out of Cena, but Cena came out on top with his resourcefulness and his unwillingness to give up.
But in a sense, if you think about it, he didn't beat him with his own two hands. He needed help.
Well, it was a hardcore match.
And it was a hardcore match, but I'm just saying, he...
Well, what do you mean he needed help?
Didn't he have to use a chain or something like that?
Yeah, but Lesnar used everything else.
I know, I'm just saying, though. And then Lesnar...
You can't say that if Lesnar used it as well. One chair shot begat another chair shot.
Okay, fine.
So it's fair.
But then Lesnar, when it came back and just German suplexed the hell out of him.
Yeah, and that's what happened. Because the same thing goes... For Cena, even though he's the face of the company, you put him in there with an MMA fighter, who legitimately held the world heavyweight, the UFC championship.
Heavyweight championship.
You're gonna get your ass whooped.
Yeah,
just like Cena's talking about whooping Rusev's ass. He got his ass.
Let's jump right into that match then. Cena versus Rusev.
Let's give our final thought on Taker and Wyatt.
Taker and Wyatt.
So I want Undertaker to win, but to not pass the torch, but to acknowledge Bray Wyatt.
Give his stamp of approval on Bray Wyatt.
Right. Like maybe shake his hand.
I agree with you there. Some aside, not so much of 100% respect, but just say, okay, you caught my eye.
Yeah.
All right, you got my attention, type of thing. All right, let's jump into that Cena Rusev match.
That I know we talked about not reading rumors, but I only listened to one rumor, and it was on accident. And what I heard.
Spoiler alert.
Was amazing. I mean, it might
possible
happen.
Spoiler alerts coming up. Go ahead.
We can't say spoiler alert
I said
because
possible.
we haven't seen.
I said possible.
Color.
Okay, possible rumor alert coming up.
No, it is a rumor. It's not a possible rumor. It's a rumor.
Okay. Possible outcome for Cena versus...
How about...
What were we going to call it?
What Javier heard.
What Javier heard. There we go. Go ahead. Sorry. It's a possible spoiler, though. Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
You know?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go. You were talking.
No, go ahead.
You had
the
floor.
You ruined it.
So Cena Rusev.
Cena Rusev.
Go.
What?
Just go ahead and say it.
Say what?
What you're gonna say?
No, because we don't even know what to call it. So
it doesn't matter. Okay, well,
I don't want to present it away. This doesn't match what you called it.
This is what Javier heard. Go ahead.
No. What do you think about Cena Rusev?
I liked how they built it up.
I do too.
I would have preferred. Okay. I have a feeling Cena's gonna win at WrestleMania. Pen?
Yeah, because I'm having some brainstorms here.
Let me get you one real quick. But so go ahead and talk in the meantime. Talk to the people.
All right. Well, I'll go back and say what I wanted to say. This is a rumor that I heard. Cena's gonna go over as the United States champion, and Bryan is gonna go over as the Intercontinental champion, and it's gonna bring legitimacy back to the mid-card titles. And they're gonna have some lengthy reigns, maybe 4 or 5 months with the title, to legitimize the 2 mid-card titles that are so prestigious, that have kind of just gone down by the wayside. And honestly, I would like to see that happen. I know, because it's the reality era, people are going to say, why did they give the title to Cena? He doesn't need the title. Why this? Why that? How many times has somebody lost the title and went into an even better feud that they had ever been in? And I'll give you one amazing example. Ready for this?
Yeah.
Or do you have an example?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. I just want to see what you were going to, if you had something on your mind about that one. One amazing example. Jeff Hardy versus Edge, Royal Rumble 2009. The feud between Jeff Hardy and Edge had always been amazing.
Yeah.
But how do you make it better by making it worse? By making it worse, meaning you screw him out of the title. Mm-hmm. But how do you make it better after that? Not by giving him a rematch against Edge, but by having his brother screw him over.
That's right.
And setting up an Extreme Rules match at WrestleMania. Brother versus brother. Tell me that right there wasn't filled with so much emotion.
Oh yeah, that was a good match. That was it was well done. You're right. They ruined, in a sense, one to make another one come on top. Exactly.
Even better.
And sometimes, like you said, you gotta look for what the payoff is going to be down the line.
Right. And going back to WrestleMania 13, people didn't want Bret Hart to win. Yeah, he was a face. Some people liked him, but Austin, they were really feeling Austin, and Austin lost. But what happened after that?
Dude,
the double turn.
Dude, Austin blew up after that. Austin straight up just went. I mean, Austin Mania. I'm playing off of Axelmania and Hulkamania here, but Austin Mania just went crazy. Mm-hmm. And I mean, seeing Austin not tapping out but passing out in a pool of his own blood,
he never gave up.
Just unbelievable.
And it's happened again, very rarely, and much more insignificant because I can't remember any of them.
Didn't John Cena pass out to the
the
Accolade?
To the Accolade, yeah. That one was somewhat significant, but I got to see
Didn't Jack Swagger pass out as well too?
Yeah, but I think he had already been knocked out.
Yeah, so I mean that one was.
I wouldn't count that one because he had already been knocked out.
But yeah, so I'm pretty sure Cena's going to win as well. That was my gut feeling from the start. And like I said, based on how the payoff is going to look, prior to Fastlane, what I was hoping would have happened was Cena was going to win the match at Fastlane, mm-hmm. and then Rusev was going to rematch and win at WrestleMania. But Rusev actually retaining mm-hmm. made the feud better.
You're right. And guys, listen to this. I know you guys want instant gratification. John Cena winning. Well, most of you guys want John Cena to win. But it made sense because, going back to Daniel Bryan, if you would have given him the title, you would have never have given him his WrestleMania moment. Exactly. And that place would not have exploded the way that it did. Austin, if you would have had him win, you wouldn't have had more people believe in this guy than ever before. You know,
Austin Mania would not have been born.
True. And same thing goes for what we're talking about right now. You make it bigger and better, especially because I told you before, I like matches. I don't mind seeing the same match over and over and over again.
Exactly.
A different result.
Exactly.
And on this one, Rusev beat Cena with the Accolade.
Yeah, I could see WrestleMania match, the match between Rusev and Cena. I think Cena's going to have to hit him with the STFU to win it.
I think he's going to have to hit him with the STFU, but in a different fashion. Kind of like how he did before with Umaga, where he did it with the ring ropes.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
He's gonna have to do something to make him pass out or something before he get the pinfall. On this whole Axel, Austin, Hulkamania trend that we're on, we're gonna jump right into the Andre the Giant Battle Royale.
Oh, I thought you were gonna talk about Santana Mania.
No, but I'm gonna tell you who I think is gonna win, and you're probably gonna laugh at me for saying it, but I think Curtis Axel is gonna win.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you right now. Watching that match that I just mentioned about Miz, Barrett, and Curtis Axel, and seeing the ability of Curtis Axel, and finding out that Curtis Axel was actually the one that trained The Rock when he came back, and this is Mr. Perfect's son, and people were cheering for Mr. Perfect's son. They were cheering for Curtis Axel in that match, and if WWE does it so many times, they will make you believe in somebody that you threw away months ago.
This man has yet to be eliminated from the Royal Rumble.
Well, I think it's null and void if you never enter.
I know, but he's been getting a little pops more. His pop has been going up a little bit more and more and more as the weeks have gone by since he started this whole Axelmania movement. And you know what?
I kind of agree with you there.
It's gotten better than what it was before.
It's easy to side because, like, I'll tell you right now, if Adam Rose comes out, somebody you don't like, and goes out there and starts quoting Austin and The Rock.
Oh no, I know. It's his whole character right now that he's portraying.
Right.
You know, it's the whole. You know, he's pretty much mimicking Hulk Hogan, but as Curtis Axel, and he's that.
If a guy who mimics people doing stunts works, why not the son of a legendary wrestler mimicking the most iconic wrestler work?
I see the Miz versus the Miz and Mizdow getting eliminated at the same time. You know what? No, I see Mizdow eliminating Miz and then Miz eliminating Mizdow.
I don't think that's going to happen.
You don't think so?
No. I think that's going to fall apart. The reason why I don't think it's going to happen is because WrestleMania is going to be so pressed for time. You want to tell a story. You want to get your bang for your buck on it. You can't really tell that story in a WrestleMania, especially not in a... Well, I can see him... I can maybe see Mizdow eliminating him, but maybe not Miz going back in there because that's... People are going to want to see that story, and you're not going to give it to them. You're just going to see.
And then, of course, there's going to be falling out between Big Show and Kane somehow. I mean, they've already been button heads for the past couple of weeks.
I don't think they'll be in the last 5 or 6. Yeah. I think they're going to get eliminated quickly, but I do think they'll team up the entire time. Because remember, they got to make some more appearances at the end of the night.
Yeah, and I honestly, wholeheartedly believe. You might find me stupid for this, but I strongly believe Curtis Axel is going to somehow pull it off.
No, I don't. Dude, I like Curtis Axel. Like I said, I've had a thing about not liking heels in the past because they did such a good job of being a heel that I didn't like them.
Yeah.
Now I'm starting to see what it really is. I like Kid and Cesaro. I like Lesnar. I liked Benoit. He was my favorite heel. Triple H as a heel. Now looking back on it now, I love it. Bobby Roode, you know, when he was with
Bear Money?
No, not Bear Money.
Team Canada? Yeah.
He was never afraid to get in the ring with somebody like that's
true.
The kind of guy like Batista when he was in Evolution.
Yeah.
That's what that reminds me of.
Yeah. But I kind of hope he wins it. You know, I would like to see him win it. Other person I could see winning it, I could see Mizdow possibly winning it.
I could see Ryback winning it. I don't want him to win it, but I can see it. Or I can see him in the Final Four.
Yeah. I can see him as being one of the last set. Moving on from that match, let's go to the Divas match. The frenemies are back together.
Yeah. I hope they add a stipulation at the end for, like, on the last Raw or SmackDown, whatever they want to do, that puts the Divas title
on the line. That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, because it's happened before.
Now, we've been waiting so many months to find out if Brie Bella is going to all of a sudden turn her back on her sister.
I swear to God, I hope so.
What a perfect time to do it then in a Divas tag match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because that feud all of a sudden just got dropped and it's been like, okay, I guess they're not feuding anymore.
But at the same time, it kind of makes sense, especially with Bryan being back. Yeah. Everybody knows that they're married and they've done a good job of keeping them away from each other.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, if you brought that back and you turned Brie into a bitch, that made no sense.
Yeah.
You know?
So we'll see how. I'm looking forward to seeing that match. I think Paige and AJ probably going to pull out the win. I hope.
I think they will.
Maybe they pull out a win and then set up for like a triple threat match at what's the next one? Extreme Rules.
Not a triple threat match. I really do think, because that would just be so what was that? You know, now they're in singles matches. Like, they were together at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Why is one getting a chance over the other one? I really think Bree's going to do something here.
You think?
I truly think Bree's going to do something.
Yeah, we'll see. Who knows? Maybe they do a fatal 4-way with all 4 of them in a match for the title at Extreme Rules.
Uh-huh.
Maybe something like that. We'll find out,
Wait.
of course.
What did you say?
So maybe a fatal 4-way.
Wait.
Extreme Rules. After WrestleMania.
Okay. I thought you were stealing my idea once again.
Oh,
no. You like to steal my ideas.
Not that idea. No. Let's see. What else? Oh, Orton versus Rollins. So, I hate to say it, but
I think Orton is going to put over Rollins.
I think so too.
I think the Authority will get involved, and I can see Rollins using his briefcase to knock out Orton.
And this is, I honestly think this is probably going to be either the first or second match of the night.
I can see that happening too, because if the payoff, because there's 3 or 4 different matches that
Rollins and Orton could possibly be a part of later on.
Right, whether they're interfering, or they're helping, or they're just making a difference.
So I can actually see that match being one of the first early matches that goes down.
Right, that's kind of the same thing that happened with remember the Elimination Chamber where it was either that was a scramble match.
It was Edge
attacked Kofi Kingston.
Yes.
At first I thought to myself, why is the SmackDown title being defended first on the card?
Exactly.
To set up the story.
Exactly.
He lost his title. He came back to destroyed Kofi Kingston, took his spot, and won the title again.
Exactly.
You know, so if you see, and kind of the same thing with Bryan, he had to be the first match to make sense so he can rest.
Exactly.
And be the last match.
Exactly.
So if you see Orton and Rollins, which I'll be honest with you, it would not surprise me to see them going first.
Exactly. It's one of those matches that can come out of the just boom right off the bat, get it out of the way, let them rest up for later on. If they are one of the first 2 matches, something's big's going to happen in either the Triple H Sting match or the Lesnar Reigns match.
And if it's the first match, it's got to be Orton using the hit first.
Yeah.
Just think about it. If you hear those balls bouncing, which I think of every time I hear Rollins music, it's not going to go like, because that's what you want to hear at WrestleMania.
You want WrestleMania to kick off with a loud pop.
I say Orton comes out first match of the night, that place is going to blow up.
And that leads us to the last match that we got to talk about, which is the match it's one of my top matches that I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
Intercontinental title ladder match.
Okay. Do you want to give your
final
result?
I'll give my final result real quickly on Orton Rollins. I see Rollins winning that match, maybe from a distraction from J&J Security. I could see that happening very easily. But going straight into the Intercontinental title match, I mean, I must say I love the way that they've built up the feud. Well, not the feud, but like the chaos.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I heard it was R-Truth's idea. I think he did a podcast with Chris Jericho, and they admitted that it was that was his idea. But I saw that coming. Like after the first 2 times that the title was stolen, I thought, what an amazing way to make a story. Now, does it make Wade Barrett look weak? Yeah, but does it make a great story?
Yeah, it does.
Sometimes you can't win all the time. So sometimes you can't win all the time. I mean, you're gonna piss the purist off, or you're gonna piss the people that.
Yeah, I mean, you piss off the people that just want to see a good match.
Right.
And the one thing that I'm looking forward to the most, one thing that I liked about how they built it up was it showed like they kind of put like a big importance on the title for the first time. You know, it's an interesting way for them to try and start building it up.
Yeah, definitely, and you also add like a comedic effect to it. You know, it's funny because who can legitimately take R-Truth serious in that match? I can if I see him stealing the title all the time. You know?
Exactly. And then you look at all the guys that they brought in: Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, Luke Harper, and then Stardust. You know, it's like hey, all these guys,
these are some legit guys.
These are some legit guys, and they're going to put on a pretty awesome match. And I think this could quite easily be the match that steals the entire show. And this is probably the only match that I think could go first before Orton versus Rollins.
Yeah, I could too.
I mean, and I can see Daniel Bryan or Dolph Ziggler winning this match easily. I think it's going to be a spot fest, so to say. But at the same time, it's going to be one of those just back and forth. You never know who's going to be the one to pull down the title, too, as well, you know? It's going to be one of those matches where you're just glued to the TV waiting to see who's the person to get the hand on the belt last.
You know what I see happening?
What?
I see two things. One, that I would really like to happen if it's going to go that way. Or two, what I wouldn't mind seeing happen. What I would really like to see happen, if they're actually going to go through with it, is John Cena winning the U.S. title and Daniel Bryan winning the Intercontinental title, bringing legitimacy back to the titles, having top guys compete for that title. Because what makes you believe that title is worth as much as it really is worth if the top guys don't go after it?
True.
Well, these guys don't want it, so why should we want it, you know?
Yeah.
If that's really what's going to happen with those two titles, I would like Daniel Bryan to win it.
Yeah.
I was going to say Bryan dying. I have dyslexia to a small degree, I swear to God.
But I think it's going to be a great match.
But what I wouldn't mind seeing happen, if they're not going to do that, is legitimizing somebody who not very many people believe in. If you ask people who are your top 5 right now, nobody's going to name them, but I've gone back and looked at some of this guy's matches.
Wade Barrett? Yeah, that'd be a good way to legitimize him. You know, make him. He's had his title stolen for the past month and comes out on top at WrestleMania in a ladder match. The only downside to Wade Barrett being legitimized is his nasty history of injuries.
True, but
that is the only thing.
That's not really his fault, though.
I know it's not his fault, but they got to look at that. They always look at that, you know.
Yeah, but you got to look at how some people have come back from injuries. Look at Triple H. Hold on.
No. I understand.
Let me say this.
Triple H, John Cena, Austin, those guys have come back from injury.
They got to come back the right way, and they got to be booked the right way.
You look at Wade Barrett. The times that he's gotten injured,
he never did anything significant before he got injured. Yeah, he got stripped of the Intercontinental title, but at the time, the Intercontinental title was a joke.
It's like every time they start trying to push him to build him up, he gets hurt, and they have to start over.
It's only happened twice.
I know, but both times they're getting ready to, they're revving up to push him. He gets hurt. They got to start over from scratch, and it could be one of those things where WWE's a little bit. They're not. They just don't want to pull the trigger just yet on him.
I don't think that's the case because accidents. They're just.
But
I don't. Yeah, I'm sorry. I got a little distracted there. I don't think they want to pull the trigger on Wade Barrett just yet because he really hasn't proven much. And when I say that, I mean like story wise.
Yeah,
he hasn't proven much. But as far as ability, I think he can go in the ring. I think he can hang with anybody. Picture this. I know people call Big Show a jobber, but picture Wade Barrett as a face, Big Show as a jobber. I mean a heel.
Yeah.
Can't you see that being an amazing match?
Oh yeah, that'd be a pretty good match. But let's say Daniel Bryan wins it. You could then come back and say Wade Barrett's gonna pull out his rematch clause, and then you could build him up from there a little bit more, just to give yourself give them a little bit more time to think about, are we ready to pull the trigger on him or not? So I can see that happening.
And honestly, I think they're ready to pull the trigger on a lot of different people. It's just they're missing one or two little things here and there, and you can't really pull the trigger.
But
if the guy isn't 100% ready.
So your pick?
My pick, it doesn't really come down to a pick. It comes down to what storyline I would like to see, and I would like to see the Daniel Bryan winning if they do that with John Cena and Daniel Bryan winning.
I'm right there with you. I kind of want to see Daniel Bryan winning. Quickly, what do you think is going to be your match of the night? What do you think is going to be match of the night?
The match that I'm going to look forward to the most.
No, not the match that you're going to look forward to the most, but the match that you think.
Well, I was going to name that, and then I was going to name my match. The match I'm looking forward to the most has never been the match I've always thought was going to be the best match. The match I'm looking forward to the most is obviously the
Sting Triple H.
No,
Oh wow.
It's going to be Lesnar and Reigns. The reason why is because, like I said, it's a mystery wrapped in an enigma, put in a box with a question mark on it. We don't know what's going to happen, and it has the possibility of becoming a great match. Not the greatest of all time, but
it could be up there,
right? Especially because you got Lesnar in there, and he can make some stuff.
It could be another 16 suplex,
61 suplex fest. But the match I think will be the best. It's going to have to be the IC title match with John Cena and John Cena and Rusev right behind that.
Yeah, the match I'm looking forward to the most, Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt. Mm-hmm. But I do agree with you. I think the Intercontinental title match is going to probably be the match that steals the entire show. And it's not so much because it's just a ladder match. Mm-hmm. Like, you could have told me, okay, we're going to have a 7-man battle royale, and these are the guys that are going to be in it. R-Truth. I'd be like, Wade Barrett. Then you say Daniel Bryan, Ziggler, Luke Harper, Ambrose, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And you throw in Stardust and he's like Cody Rhodes. I'm sold.
When I heard that Dean Ambrose was in the match, and then I saw that they had some interactions with each other, I was like,
it's gonna be interesting.
Ambrose needed somebody he could pick on, you know.
Yeah.
You know, and Barrett is enough of a kind of like cowardly heel.
Yeah.
That would be funny for Ambrose to pick on, you know.
Yeah.
And then you throw in the legitimate wrestlers like Daniel Bryan, and you throw in the legitimate over stars that people really like to see in Ziggler, and you throw in the wild card that's proven himself, that has that look, that has the
beard, Luke Harper,
the beard, yeah.
And then you throw in that crazy, questionable, weird guy Stardust,
and then you throw in
some comic
somebody
relief,
entertainment,
exactly.
R-Truth, who can really go in the ring if you really think about it. R-Truth, I think this is going to be one of the best ladder matches
in a long
of all time.
Yeah, and it's going to be better than some of the Money in the Banks.
Yeah, definitely.
But guys, let
me ask you a quick question though. Would you rather be in a match to win the Intercontinental title, or would you rather be in a Money in the Bank ladder match?
You know what? I think it depends on the time. Like, if we're looking Attitude Era, I'll take the Intercontinental title.
Because some of these top guys, I wouldn't want to go against.
Exactly.
Because somehow they could find a way to come back on you.
You tell me Money in the Bank and Brock Lesnar's a champion, and he's going to be the champion for the next year, I'm out.
I'm going for the IC title.
I'm going for the Intercontinental title. And guys, you know what? This is our longest show to date. Hour and 22 minutes and counting.
That's longer than an episode of SmackDown.
But you know
no
what?
Commercials.
This is our WrestleMania right here. This is our WrestleMania podcast.
Yeah.
Grant.
This was my WrestleMania moment.
It had to be big, had to be done.
And I'm sure you guys are still listening. I'm sure you guys are hopefully hanging on every word that we say, because you find what we had to say interesting.
And we're gonna be releasing a couple others leading up to WrestleMania. We're gonna give our top 5 WrestleMania matches of the past 15 years.
No, I think we're going to go with top 5 WrestleMania matches of all time.
Okay.
But I think we're going to limit the top 5 WrestleManias
to the last 15 years.
That's 15 years, because I didn't really get into WWE up until WrestleMania 16.
I think the only one I'm going to mention is probably WrestleMania 13, and that's only really for one match.
Right. Well, I mean, I hate to imitate you on this, but by that logic, you mean you got to do WrestleMania 3, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant. Well, by that logic, you got to do WrestleMania 2
I'll put you like
Ultimate War. I think it might have been Ultimate War.
Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, me, personally, I thought was far better than Hogan versus Andre the Giant.
Okay.
I'm going to get a lot of people pissed off at me.
Okay.
But that's just me.
How about this? Well, by that logic, WrestleMania 10, Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels Iron Man match was, to me, far better than Bret Hart and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay, we might have to go back to 10 then.
Oh, well, by that logic, Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon in the very first ladder match ever, that stole the show by far.
Well, that's going to be included probably in our top 5 WrestleMania matches or something. But guys, tune in later on this week.
Wait, what about Hogan and Ultimate Warrior and the unification of the 2 titles?
We'll get to all that.
What about WrestleMania?
We'll list our top 5 WrestleManias of the past 15 years.
Paul Orndorff versus Mr. T and Hulk
and our top 5 WrestleMania matches of all time.
Bam Bam Bigelow.
See you guys
later.